Hey guys, it's Thursday, I'm Tom, and today I'm talking about the three main components of a good query letter.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
So before I get started today, I want to talk very briefly about Big Time, which came out last week, and I said I would give a copy away, and the winner is Larissa Hardesty. So congratulations, Larissa. You can watch for a message from me in your YouTube mail. And incidentally, I found out this morning that foreign rights for Big Time have sold to Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Germany, which is really exciting. It's my first book that's had international rights sold. So you can watch for that in your mail coming sometime soon. And for the rest of you, if it intrigues you, piques your interest, you should go out and pick up a copy. So I want to talk briefly about query letters today. A good query letter has one main goal. You want it to pique an agent's interest. You want them to read it and for it to impress them enough that they want to read more. They want to read your manuscript, ideally. And it was recently described to me as a three-component process. A good query letter should have three main parts. The first is the hook. That's the 1 or 2 line opening that intrigues the agent enough to continue reading the letter. They're looking for marketability. They're looking for very loosely looking to see that you're a good writer, that you can distill your book into one or two main sentences. And usually in that section you can write, you can put in the number of words, the word count, but basically you want it to be short, brief, to the point, and the goal of that hook, that first part of the letter, is for them to continue reading into the second part, which is the book. This is where you're going to describe the meat of your manuscript. You want to be brief, again, to the point, 2, 3, 4 at the most paragraphs. You don't want to give everything away because you want them to be intrigued enough to continue on to the actual manuscript, but you do want them to get a real sense about what this book is about. Who's the protagonist, what's the setting, what's the genre, that sort of thing. And ideally, it'll read kind of like the back of a book that you've picked up in a bookstore or a library. You want it to be just like that book jacket that reels you in, makes you want to actually take the book home and read it. That's the book section. And the final section of a good query letter is the cook. That's you, the writer. So you don't want to spend too much time talking about yourself. They don't really care too much about you at this point, but you do want to mention very briefly who you are, where you're from. If you have published before, you want to put that in there. If you've won any awards, or if you belong to any societies, that might be useful information. Again, they're not interested in you as much as they are the book. The book is what they're looking for. When they're going through their massive slush piles, these agents are looking for a book that grabs them and says, I want to be published and make you a lot of money. I mean, I kid a little bit, but really they're looking for a book that they think is marketable, that they can go out and sell to a publisher. So again, it's the hook, that 1 or 2 line intro, the book, the section where you talk about the book itself, talk about your manuscript, why is it great, why do you want to keep reading it, and the cook, a little bit about yourself. At the end, you obviously want to respectfully sign off, thank them for taking the time to read your query letter, and if you've done it right, hopefully they will get in touch and say, we really like this, we liked your first chapter or 2, if that's what they've requested, and we'd like to read more, so why don't you send us the full, or maybe sometimes they'll ask for a partial. So that's the basics of a query letter. Next week I'm going to take 2 or 3 actual query letters and we're going to break them down into those parts. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a great week and an even better weekend, and I'll talk to you next Thursday.